second guess hits like that and blocks like that as well. As long as I don't know, they're discussing this. It could come back.
Yeah, they have to err on the side of caution, as we know.
Personal foul. Blindside block. Return team, number 11. Half the distance, first down.
It looked like he tried to put his arms up. It looked like he tried to get in front. But sometimes it ends up being on the side or slightly in the back. And
yeah, I don't think that was a malicious play there by Lewis. But, I mean, it is going to affect this drive, as now they're going to start their drive at about the 5-yard line, their own 5, that is. Or, excuse me, their own 11.
Anytime there's a violent play, I think officials err on the side of caution, and then you're going to see flags, and then hopefully they review it to see if it's actually in the back.
Hilo looking to get something going there on their 11-yard line. It's 1st and 10 for the Vikings, as they're going to hand it off to Lyle Silva, or check that, Don Moody, getting one of his first carries of the game.
Hilo in 20 personnel, 3 wide receivers, 2 backs, a little cross action with the 2 running backs. But again, Iolani is not fooled.
Jaden Murata there, yeah. And when people think of Iolani football, you think of smart players. They try to not make many mistakes. They're
also think of well
disciplined, well conditioned, and that's why they've
very
had so
well
much
coached.
And that's why they've had so much success over the years. Back to, as you mentioned earlier, Reese Foy.
Wendell Look,
and before that,
206 wins in his career.
Miyasato is going to find his receiver, and that's Hassan Ritter, as we mentioned, who's committed to Hawaii, is going to play at Hawaii next fall.
The nephew of Mana Silva, Mana's sister, that's the son, and phenomenal player throughout his 4 years in Hilo.
Both Micah Shikata and Lanakila Pei there on the tackle, and Pei's just been all over the field tonight. I mean, he returns punts, he makes the tackles. He's been a great player for Iolani tonight.
Very smart, very disciplined, great technique, as you mentioned, great ball awareness. He's always around the football.
3rd and short for the Vikings, and it's absolutely imperative if they can. It'd be a great situation for them if they can convert here. Looks like he's going to hand it off, and they're going to get the first down. That's Lyle Silva getting the first down, the first down for the Hilo Vikings.
Yeah, and that, is almost something we thought we'd be calling a lot more offense. But, again, credit Iolani's defense, and I also think that Hilo is now kind of taking what the defense gives them.
Yeah, the nose tackle, Lima Harbado, and Joshua Miyazawa on the tackle.
How about a 5'10", 214? If you're over 200 pounds for Iolani, you're considered large.
So now, with a fresh set of downs, which is something, it's the first time we've said that, Kian Miyasato is looking to continue this drive. And it's going to fake the handoff. It's a play action. He has a man with a step. Oh, and it was a greatly placed ball. It hit him right in the hands. That's Kaimi Tiaganko. Great ball there by Miyasato. I mean, great play. He had a step. Just got to execute. As you were mentioning, they've been having trouble with execution.
Kyoganko now wishes he had this one back. This was a great throw on the skinny post, keeping it away from the free safety. You got to get a chance to see it on the replay. Good play action pass, kind of an RPO, and then right in the hands of the receiver. Really tight spiral, well-placed football.
And that would have been 6 if he were to catch it in stride.
House call.
So that brings up 2nd and 10 now after that incomplete pass. Miyasato's got 2 backs. He's going to hand it off to Don Moody, who tripped up on the play, still manages to gain a couple.
Yeah, they call that the turf monster. Nobody hit him. The young man's got to just pick his feet up. That's why they do all those bag drills. Got a little excited.
3rd and 9 now for the Vikings. Yeah, you can see there he got tripped up. Seems frustrated. 3rd and 9 on the 24-yard line for the Vikings.
Balance so important for these running backs.
Another 2-back set for Miyasato.
3 receivers, 2 backs, 20 personnel, no tight ends.
Another shift for Iolani defensively, as they've been doing most of the game. Good passer by Miyasato, and it's going to be another first down for the Vikings.
Ooh, that's going to be a penalty. If you pick up the ball carrier and you throw him to the turf, surprised we did not see flags. In the old days, that wasn't a penalty, but in modern-day football, if you pick somebody up and body slam them, usually it looks like Independence Day out there.
Yeah, that was Gaisen Ogata on the catch, and Lanakila Pei again on the tackle. Great pass, though, from
right
Miyasato.
Here. You got to be careful about not throwing him on his head, and that's what they're looking for.
Yeah, you could hear the reaction from the crowd, as they definitely wanted a penalty there. But nonetheless, it's another first down for the Vikings, and this is by far the best drive they've had, as there are only 2 first downs of the game.
Yeah, they haven't cleared the 50-yard line yet, but you're right. They are executing. They're diversified. They're running. They're throwing. They're taking what the defense is giving them.
Yeah, and I mean, we have a penalty flag. It looks like it's going to be a delay of game unless the coach managed to get a timeout off.
Delay of game. Offense, number 12. 5-yard
He did
penalty,
not.
first down.
So that will be a delay of game. It's a 5-yard penalty, and that's something you don't really want. I mean, it just shows you weren't ready or...
Yeah, it's somewhat of an administrative penalty. You don't know when that play came in and from the sidelines, but you do know this. Hilo only has one timeout left, so it's very valuable to use a timeout in this situation.
And that brings it to 1st and 15 now for Miyasato. He's going to pump fake one receiver. He has Dyson Ogata, who catches the ball at the 50, breaks a tackle. He's going down the sideline to the 30, to the 20, finally pushed out at about the 23-yard line.
They're going to call him out at the 39. I think he stepped out. A good job by the officials right there on the spot, but a great throw in the hole, a hole shot on cover 2. In front of the safety, behind the corner, off the pump. Fake.
Hilo doesn't seem to know that he was called at the 39 as they're getting ready to get lined up at the 23. Now they're figuring out that they got to come back a little bit. Meki Pay again on the play. And that's a first down for Hilo. As you mentioned, they cleared the 50-yard line now, and hopefully they can get some points.
Yeah, big first down, but there's now a challenge. And again, that's what's great about the HHSAA state championships is there is the replay.
Yeah, and I mean, rightfully so, right? That's a big difference in yardage, and it looked, and yeah, so coach, obviously, if he does lose a challenge, he'll lose his last time out. But I mean, I guess he thought it was a risk he's willing to take. Maybe he has someone up in the booth
closer to anybody in terms of on that sideline. So he also has coaches up in the box that are able to see the replay, and there's officials up in the box looking at that replay as well.
Yeah.
So normally you buzz down, you talk to your assistant coaches and you let them know. The officials usually buzz it down if they think they missed something on the field. So that's why all this technology, and that's why football is the most strategized game in the world in terms of you got 30 seconds to design your play. It's based upon tendencies. You got 10 assistant coaches.
The last play was not challengeable due to the runner stepping out of bounds. First down, Hilo at the 39-yard line.
Looks like they're not going to overturn this.
Oh, so the call is not challengeable. So it's going to stand as the ref saw it, and the ref says that Gaisen Ogata stepped out at the Iolani 39-yard line.
Still the biggest play so far for the Vikings.
By far, by yardage and even momentum. And he's going to hand it off to Lyle Silva, who picks up 3 or 4 on the carry.
Yeah, there's a big hole on the left side of that Hilo offensive line. They did a nice job in terms of getting to the second level. But then you saw the white jerseys. You saw those hybrid guys close very quickly.
Yeah, and you can contribute that hole to Sione Holani and Kavika Lihong, who opened that hole for Silva.
Casey Bell, number 26 for Iolani on the tackle.
So that brings up 2nd and 7, ball on the 36-yard line. This not only has this been the most yardage, it's also been the most time of possession for the Vikings on the drive, as there's 7.5 minutes left. Miyasato with a nice pass to Kaimi Tiaganko, who dropped the pass earlier that could have perhaps went for 6, and maybe it's the redemption for the young man.
Two-man game, top of the field. You have the curl flat concept, and basically it's a one-man read for the quarterback. He's reading that hook defender. If the hook defender goes out to the flat, he's going to throw that curl in behind him. So they're high-lowing the zone defense employed by Delbert Tengan.
Yeah, Hilo creeping up on field goal range, but obviously they'd love to come out of here with 7. And that's going to bring up another first down for the Vikings, and that's Kian Miyasato with 2 backs. He's dropping. He's looking left. He's under some pressure. He's going to take this one himself. He's going to slide. It looks like they're giving him 3. I thought he might have got a bit more.
Yeah, he kind of slid a little bit early. He's got to be a little bit more courageous in that situation, although he does not want to take a hit because he is so valuable to this Hilo offense. So you pick and choose when you got to fight for that extra yard or 2.
So it seems like Hilo's made some offensive adjustments, and because obviously now they are moving the ball more. Maybe it's just execution, as you've been mentioning.
Yeah, it's execution, but it's also adjustments. It starts at the offensive line. They've got to protect. They've got to give this quarterback some confidence, and sometimes they're doing a nice job, and then the receivers have to run the right route, and then it's on the quarterback to deliver the ball.
Miyasato has 3 receivers to his left, and he's looking to his left, and he's under pressure. He's going to be sacked for a big loss. That was Shaden Molina on the tackle.
Yeah, and you mentioned he came into the game with 5 sacks, but I think that's the second sack of this football game. And Molina is a big-time player, and it's a big-time game.
Huge play there for the defense as they're now knocked out of field goal range, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 18, which is far from easy.
And the concept was the mesh route. And when I talk about mesh routes, you're talking about 2 quick crossing routes at slightly different levels. And you hope the rat takes the cheese. The linebacker goes with one, opening up a void, and then the receiver throttles it down in the hole. But that time it was all about pressure from Shaden Molina.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to convert. If you're Hilo, maybe you want to get half back on the first play and then try and convert on 4th down. Looks like they're going to do just that. Oh, it's going to be interesting. They're calling incomplete on the field. And, yeah, so that's going to bring an incomplete pass. Looks like he could have caught that ball. That's Kilohana Hasenritter.
It was way behind Kilohana. This would have been a great catch, but he has the most accolades on this Hilo offense, and he needs to make this catch. Watch how he reaches back, almost brings that football in. It definitely is an incompletion, bringing up a field goal opportunity.
Yeah, this is going to be a long field goal, 48 yards. And his longest is 45, as we have Keanu Kealanui.
And you also know about the swirling winds in Halava coming through that north tunnel.
Looking for their first points. It's got the leg. And it's going to be good. Great kick by Kealanui as he goes for 48 yards. We're going to take a break. Your score 10-3 with 5.5 minutes left in the second quarter.
Thank you so much. I'm just going to do the first half, and then I'm going to turn it over to these guys, but it's so exciting. My wife was so excited, my parents.
Hi. Can you sign my lunchbox?
Sure.
First Hawaiian Bank. It all starts with yes.
Yeah, we're back after that 47-yard field goal by Kealanui, his career long. That makes the score 10-3 in the favor of the Raiders, as Hilo is now going to kick off to Iolani. And, I mean, Hilo finally has some momentum after their first scoring drive, and maybe that will help them.
Yeah, no, if this is the score going into halftime, and there's still 5 minutes and 30 seconds left in the second quarter, it's a win for Hilo because they were dominated in that first quarter, but now they're starting to gain some momentum. In this game of football, it's amazing how adrenaline, momentum, and that's what's in the corner of the Vikings, but they have to have a great kickoff coverage and then play great defense and get the ball back before this half.
And Pays deep back to return, but it's going to go to Hadani. Hadani's going to field it at his own 3. He's going to take it out, and he's going to be met early. Looks like he may have got there to the 20. Would have been the same as a touchback, but he did. Of course, he caught it in the field of play.
And I like that new collegiate rule where if you fair catch it, you get the ball on the 25-yard line. And to me, it eliminates potential injuries because the kickoff coverage is the most violent aspect of the football game.
Yeah, of course, that is a rule made to hopefully prevent more injuries, as a lot of injuries happen on kickoff when you have guys flying down the field, whacking each other.
Yeah, and years ago they eliminated the 4-man wedge. Then they've just this past year eliminated the 2-man wedge, and that, again, is where the violent collisions happen on the 2-on-1 wedge type of blocking.
Also, the kickoff team can't have a running start. And Jonah Chung now is going to motion Hadani into the backfield. He's under some pressure. It looks like it was a screen play, but Hilo sniffed that one up and is going to tackle for a loss.
Kalen White, number 10. That guy is the guy that is the heart and soul of this defense. He lines guys up. He's instinctive. He works. Caio Dramondo said maybe one of the top 3 players in the 8 years he's been a head coach that he's coached on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, that's such a high honor to give Kalen White from Coach Dramondo, as that brings it to 2nd and 14 for Chong. He's going to hand it off to Hidani, who's again met for maybe they're going to blow this one because they're going to get forward progress, but looks like he maybe got back to the line to gain. Huge play again by the Hilo defense.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 yellow jerseys around the ball carrier, led by Caden Alameda. And I'll tell you, momentum. We talked about adrenaline. Who now is the team that looks like the dominant team, even though they only have 3 points on the scoreboard? It's the Hilo Vikings.
Yeah, it's been mostly Hilo recently, despite the score showing 10-3. And now they're making Iolani into a 3rd and 13, which is really tough to convert. We'll see what they do here.
Looks like it's 0 coverage, or at least quarters to the top of the screen, 0 on the bottom.
Chong's under pressure again. He's going to find Kamana, who's going to be tackled well short of line to gain. After a big hit, Kamana's down. Kamana
roughing the passer, though. There is a flag down by the end zone.
That would be absolutely devastating, because that gives him a first down, if I'm not mistaken.
Wade Miranda, the white hat, right behind the quarterback, and you're going to see quarterback throws the ball. You have to not pile drive him. You have to
personal foul.
Try to stay off the quarterback.
Roughing the passer. Defense number 44. 15-yard penalty.
Just when everything's
first down.
going right for you defensively, you have a play like that, and that just is so devastating. Now Iolani has much better field position.
Yeah, tough break for the Vikings, because they would have gotten off the field. Iolani would have been punting from their own territory. They would have probably got the ball near midfield. I mean, that's just a huge play right there.
The biggest play in the game in terms of making a mistake by the Vikings.
1st and 10 now on the 36, thanks to the penalty, is where Chong will continue this drive. He's going to motion a man, and he's going to fake the handoff. He's going to give it to Hidani, who's stopped for no gain.
Yeah,
Hilo's still playing with some heart.
Yeah, Hilo playing with heart, adrenaline, enthusiasm, the pride of the Big Island, and this is the best team that I've seen from the Big Island in many, many, many years, and they're right now thinking that they're the dominant team, especially defensively. After that last offensive drive resulted in a field goal, it fired the defense up.
Josh Nero in on the stop. That brings up 2nd and 10 now for the Raiders. Chong's looking to his left. He's going long. And he's just going to miss Kamana, who was in pretty tight coverage that time, actually. It looked like the DB was step for step, is Lane De Peralta. Good coverage by the defensive back there.
Yeah, it's a long foul ball, but what it does is it takes the top off your defense, the ability to have the vertical passing game successful. And this ball was just slightly overthrown. It's really a good throw because it's to the outside of Carter Kamana. It's just one step, and that's a big old target. When you talk about catching radius, 6'3" tall with a great vertical jump.
3rd and 10 gives Hilo a chance to get off the field again, as Chong's dropping back. He's again going long. He has a guy. Oh, and just off the hand, it was a slightly overthrown. Number 6 was able to get one hand on it. That's why Loa Manuel, but great job by this Hilo defense responding to that penalty by getting them off the field once more.
Kilohana Hasenritter, when you run a post and there's no safety help, it usually means it's a quarters concept, and the safety was taken out on the left side of the field by the deep dig route. Really a good scheme by Iolani. Tough coverage by Kilohana Hasenritter, and he shows the ability to play both offense and defense continually.
I think that's Ogata and a power back, so as the punt was almost blocked, and it's going to bounce at the 30. And it's going to be bravely taken by Ogata, who was surrounded by some Iolani players, and he's going to fight for an extra 6 or 7 yards. But that was a brave play by Ogata, who fumbled a punt earlier.
Maxon Miyashiro, the defensive back, on the tackle for the special teams.
Yeah, I mean, that was a high-risk play that Ogata just took.
Yeah,
low
usually
reward.
It's a poison call, and you do your best because the football is not round. It bounces in funny ways, and if it hits you and it's a turnover, it's a huge change of field position and a huge change of momentum.
So now it's going to be 1st and 10 on their own 37 for the Vikings, as Miyasato is looking to get another drive going. He's going to be sacked. The ball's out, and it's going to be recovered by, I think, Iolani. Looks like Iolani has it. Shaden Molina looks like he hopped on it. That's the early indication.
Miyasato took a shot right there, and that's from his blind side, and he did not see the defensive end coming.
And actually, Hilo fortunate to fall on that one and keep the ball in their possession. It looked like Iolani had that.
Yeah, and I
fumble.
think Shaden Molina is maybe the most impactful player because the defensive end position, he comes on a stunt. It's actually number 26 coming from the outside off of the Lex stunt, Casey Bell delivering the punishment.
Yeah, and despite keeping the ball, now it brings up second and really long for the second and 23 for the Hilo Vikings, who are just going to hand it off to Lyle Silva, who gets a decent push, but still going to be third and long. Excuse me, that's Don Moody.
Yeah, Moody did a nice job for only being 5'9", 165. He ran with power. He ran with authority.
Yeah, that's going to bring up third down now, third and long for the Vikings, who, with a minute and 46 seconds left in the half, they were hoping to get one more score on the board. Let's see if they can convert on 3rd and 17. Obviously, Iolani hoping to also get on the board one more time.
Iolani just hoping to make a stop, get the ball back, you're right, and then work this 2-minute type of offense. We're in a 2-minute situation.
Miyasato's going to throw a screen, and it's going to go to Hassenrichter, who's going to take the ball. He's going to make a cut. He's got the first down and a lot more. Huge play for the Vikings offense as they get into Iolani territory at the 45-yard line of the Raiders. That's Lanakila Pay on the tackle.
Yeah, Hassenritter showing the ability to make people miss, showing great vision. You're going to see on the replay, all this basically is a funnel screen. He smokes the ball out to him, and then watch him cut back into the teeth of Iolani's defense, and then make people miss and bleed yardage forward for a huge first down.
Probably yardage-wise is one of the biggest plays for the Vikings offense tonight, and on 3rd and long even more so. As Miyasato's going to look, and he's going to have a pass. Ooh, looked like it was nearly intercepted, but it's going to be incomplete. Great play by Trevor Kahn reading that.
Yeah, Trevor Kahn is out there, and he's in what's called a crossover position, and he's keying number 2, trap type of defense. If it's a quick 5-yard out by the number 2 receiver, he's coming off his man knowing the safety's going to overlap his deep responsibility. Great read by Trevor Kahn.
That brings up 2nd and 10 for the Vikings, for Miyasato and the Vikings, and it's going to be on the Iolani 45.
So important for Hilo to continue with the momentum, and if they don't score a touchdown, at least be a chance to get a field goal.
Miyasato's going to look. Ball's nearly intercepted. That was that was Micah Shikata, who got 2 hands on the ball but wasn't able to bring it down.
Shikata doing a nice job. Number 28, there's also a safety over the top. That's cover 2. And what you do is you run with the corner to try to eliminate that dead spot, and the safety overlaps. Really a nice job by the cover 2 safety. He was there if Shikata did not make that play.
So the field goal target line for Hilo, as we've seen previously in this game, is about the 30-yard line.
Yeah, about 30 is spotted at the 37, and they made the 48-yard field goal in the same end zone.
So they need about 15 yards as it stands to get into the range of their kicker.
Hilo with only 1 timeout left, still 57 seconds on the clock.
And of course they want 6, but to bring it to... And Miyasato's going to try to keep it himself. He's going to be stopped after a gain of 1 by Lima Harbottle.
Yeah, Harbottle along with number 35, Jaden Murata, doing a nice job on that tackle in terms of it looked like the quarterback had some room to run. That was closed quickly.
And because he was tackled and bounced, the clock continues to run. I'm a bit surprised Iolani didn't try and stop the clock, and because it's obviously there was 48 seconds when the tackle was made.
Especially with 3 timeouts, you can't take them in the locker room. They're not like mulligans.
And now it's 24, 23, and it looks like Hilo might just bleed this clock and give Iolani no chance to score.
Iolani probably doesn't want Hilo to think about going for this on 4th down and content with a 10-3 lead going into the locker room.
Right, good decision. Luke made that decision, obviously, and that punt is going to be a short punt taken by Pei. Pei got the ball at the 6, and he's got a lot of green grass in front of him. And it looks like Pei's going to take this one for a touchdown unless the punter is able to make a tackle. He's not. So Lanakila Pei, as we were talking about, maybe they should have called a timeout so they could score. It doesn't matter, as he took that ball at the 6, took it 94 yards to the house.
And that was a left wall return. Pei does a nice job of setting it initially to give his blockers time. A lot of times on those type of wall returns, you see blocking the backs, you see holding, you see somebody hit a defenseless offender, but nice job right there with that big-time move as he stuck his right foot in the ground, and then the rest is history. You're going to see him set the punter right there. Good block out in front by number 41, all the way into the end zone.
That's Josh Miyazawa on the block. And now, I mean, huge play with all the momentum going right into the half. But there's no time on the clock right now in the first half as we're just awaiting this extra point for Iolani to try to go up 17-3.
And everybody talks about offense, defense, special teams being 1/3 of the game. When you look at it statistically, it's probably more like 18% of the game on special teams. But an opportunity for a big play happens on every special teams play. That was the biggest play in the first half.
Yeah, and it's those kind of mistakes as Wailoa Manuel tries to put it through. So Wailoa Manuel's extra point is good, and that makes the score 17-3 as we close out this second quarter. Obviously not something Hilo's familiar with going down in the half, and obviously they're not used to just having 3 points. They're going to hope to score some more points this half, but as we go into halftime, it's 17-3 Iolani. Stay tuned for second half action. I'm Kupa'a Miano. My partner is Rich Miano, and you're watching Aloha Stadium Star Sports. They have dominant coach. I think, honestly, don't know what they're not very at, to be honest. Defensively, Kuku's good. I think St. Louis isn't going to put a 50 or anything like that. But yeah, they got to... Good evening and welcome back to Hawaiian Financial Federal Credit Union Field at Aloha Stadium as we're set to start second half action. The score is 17-3 in the favor of the Raiders. And my partner is now Ryan Nagano, and this is the Iolani Raiders and the Hilo Vikings. Ryan, the Vikings have never faced a deficit like this season. They've never been down at halftime. How do you think they need to respond to this?
Yeah, you're talking about a gut check. You know, you go to the final game, you're that much closer from, getting the co-op back to the Big Island, and then you get hit with a 94-yard punt return with no time remaining. Big-time gut check here, but I'm very sure Kaio Jamundo and his staff is going to get the boys on the right path here.
Yeah, as Wailoa Manio is set to kick this off. And I think it's worth mentioning that this is sort of the first adversity Hilo's faced in-game. So it'll be interesting to see how they respond to that as Gaisen Ogata takes the kick. He's going to have a nice return. He's still on his feet. Gaisen Ogata all the way across the 40. He's still on his feet. So about the 44-yard line. I mean, great return by Ogata.
Yep, and that's the response that Hilo needs right there, right? You get, a special teams play. You were done in by a special teams play to end the first half. Now you get things started here with a really good special teams play. Now it's up to Kaya Miyasato. 44 touchdowns, 4 picks coming into this game. This is his ball game.
Yeah, and if you're Miyasato, of course you want to get in the end zone here to make it a one-possession game. As he's going to hand it off the middle to Lyle Silva. Silva's dragging defenders with him for about a 15-yard gain. Great start for the Vikings.
Yes, you talk about running angry. Lyle Silva ran angry right there. I saw Lyle coming out of the tunnel, and it was kind of like, hey, blow the whistle, ref. He wants to get in the game here. He wants to make a difference. We'll see it right here. Again, good zone blocking, and Silva, wide open hole there.
Silva again, he's just bringing defenders with him as he picks up 9 there. And, of course, football can be a game of momentum as we have a late flag. It looks like some extracurricular. And if Hilo can get the momentum, that's the way they're going to get back in the game.
Yep, no doubt about that. But they got to play smart. And Hilo faced with 6 penalties for 63 yards. Iolani not penalized in the whole first half. This could be a major play if the play does not stand or if there's tacked on yardage against Hilo.
Early indication is it's on the Vikings.
Dead ball. Personal foul. Offense number 56. 15-yard penalty for the end of the run. Second down.
You cannot have those. Obviously he said dead ball foul, and that's something that you need to eliminate if you're the Vikings. Iolani, no penalties thus far. Different story for Hilo, and it's been a difference. It's been one of the differences in this game.
Kupa, there's penalties, and then there's penalties at the most inopportune times, and I think that's what Hilo is facing here over the last couple quarters.
Yeah, basically wipes away this hard work by Silva in his last 2 nice runs, as it's now 2nd and 17 on the Raiders 45. They're going to give it to Silva again. This time, Silva gets about a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and long.
Yep, it's going to really test Miyasato in this offense, but Shada Molina quietly has played a big game, and I know at 6'2", 245, it's hard to go under the radar, but Molina is that really steadying force on the defensive line for Iolani.
Yeah, him and Laniki Lepe have been all over the field tonight.
Oh, yes.
Making tackles, and they've just been absolute ball hawks. I mean, it seems like every time there's a tackle, we're mentioning one of those 2 guys.
That's right.
3rd and long now for Miyasato, and, I mean, he's going to try to convert this as he's looking to his right. He goes underneath to Tiaganko, who's looks like he got the first down. Great play for the Vikings on 3rd and 16, converting there.
What a clutch play, Kupa. And we're going to check it out here on the replay. You see he has time to throw, clean pocket, and Tiaganko coming into this contest averaging 21 yards a catch, 9 touchdowns. He is their big play receiver when they need the chunk yardage. Yeah,
and if you see at the end of that play, he fought for that last couple of yards, and great heart there by them as it's now 1st and 10 as the Vikings are putting together a great drive. He's going to pass it on the run, and he's going to break a couple tackles. Looks like he's going to fight for a gain of about 4. Looks like that's again Hassenritzer on the catch, who's been a key part of the offense thus far.
Yeah, Kupa, as you see, Isaac Ignacio with another tackle. They're going to, Hassenritter coming into this game, again, the UH verbal commit, but also he is their best playmaker. He kind of does it all here. I mean, he combined 18 touchdowns coming into this contest, so any which way necessary, they're going to get the ball in number 7's hands.
And what a surprise, Meki Pei again in on the play. Lana Kila Pei again in on the play. And that brings up 2nd and 6 as Miyasato is under pressure. He's going to try and scramble away. He's going to throw this one out of bounds wisely. Looks like he did get out of the tackle box. So there will be no intentional grounding there. And there was hopefully a receiver in the area. Brings up 3rd and 6. Oh, looks like they're going to throw the penalty for grounding now. Looks like the ref changed his mind.
But as you mentioned, I believe he was outside the tackle box, way outside the tackle box.
Looked like he was almost on the sideline.
Yeah, exactly.
They're going to talk about this one.
Big call for Wade Miranda and the crew.
It's a loss of down, too, if it's intentional grounding.
Intentional grounding. Offense number 12. 5-yard penalty for the spot. Comes with a loss of down. 3rd down.
You can hear the boos throughout the stadium as looks like majority of the fans were with us on that. That looked like he did escape the tackle box, as you can see head coach talking to his quarterback there, try and hopefully he doesn't get rattled. You know, you don't want your quarterback to get scared or to lose his confidence, and it's just next play. You got to have a short memory.
And for Sato and company, this is their second big 3rd and long situation here. And Iolani would need to tighten up.
And it does knock them out of their field goal range. And so that's 3rd and 18 now for the Vikings. Miyasato again under pressure. He's going to avoid some defenders, but he's eventually going to be sacked by, looks like, Joshua Miyazawa, who's also had a decent night tonight defensively.
Yeah, this is a situation here, Kupal, where it's 3rd and long. Defense can pin their ears back. They're going to go with a ferocious pass rush. You see that twist there. Good stun on the inside. Molina initially provided the initial pressure, and then Miyazawa finishes it up.
Yeah, and of course on 3rd and long, Iolani kind of drops back their DBs, and there's probably no one open there. You could call it a coverage sack for the Raiders.
That is true.
Punt is nearly blocked. He's able to get it away. It's going to go into the end zone, and the Raiders will start the drive at the 20. And, despite the score being 17-3, 7 of those points came off of the return by Pei. And Hilo, in the second quarter, their defense sort of started to get some momentum and started to be able to stop Iolani and control the tempo.
Absolutely. I think, pound for pound, Hilo probably has their better athletes playing on the defensive side of the ball here. But down 2 scores, you get into a situation where as someone, trying to make a big play here, sometimes you do not play, assignment football because you're trying to make the big turnover.
Yeah, you do not want to allow a touchdown if you're the Hilo Vikings. He's able to complete the pass, and that is number 6, Wailoa Manuel, who doubles as the kicker. And Manuel is able to get a nice gain of 9. You saw him break a tackle or 2.
Yeah, and we'll check it out here on the replay. Just a nice, easy throw by Chong here. Finds a little crease in the defense there. And you see how Hilo plays on defense. They gang tackle, and they're trying to go for turnovers.
2nd and 1 for the Raiders as Chong's going to hand it off to Hidani. He's going to get a nice run. He'll get the first down and a bit more. He will get the forward progress call, so he's going to get a first down.
Yep, Kalen White again there on another stop. Caden Alameda also on the play. And this is a front line here for Hilo. A lot of experience also. They've been to title games for the last 2 years. So I don't think being down 2 scores at this point is going to rattle them too much.
Right, yeah. As you mentioned, this is their 3rd time here, I believe. And so a lot of these guys, the older guys, have been here. They've played together. So a lot of experience, as you mentioned, as it's a 1st and 10 for Jonah Chong. His pass is deflected, and it's going to be incomplete. The deflection was made by number 11, Kainalu Lewis. Good play there by the young man. And on the coverage of the receiver it was intended for was Kilohana Hassenritter.
Yeah, Hassenritter now locking up on Wailoa Manuel. Definitely got his attention. They got De Peralta on the other side going against Kamana. So Hilo looking to win these one-on-one matchups, something that I think Iolani did a better job in the first half.
And when you talk about Hilo, a lot of people talk about their offense, but their defense also has been pretty solid this season. As they hand it off to Hidani, who's going to be tackled for a short gain. He may have got 1. Josh Nero on the tackle. There's 7 minutes, 22 seconds left and counting in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, not a time to panic. Still a lot of ball game to be played here, and you can see Hilo's defense stabilizing things, right? offense, wasn't able to get the score initially, but now it's the defense telling, everyone on the squad, hey, we got you.
Yeah, it'd be great for them to get off the field here and try and get a chance to score again as the Raiders face 3rd and 9. You can starting to get a little windy here as Jonah Chong's dropping back. He has some pressure. He has a man downfield, just slightly overthrew his intended receiver. That's Ko Ichikawa, who had a step or two on the defensive back. Nice route, and the ball was just a little out of reach.
Jonah Chong has not missed by much, in this contest. Maybe a yard away, maybe a couple rotations away. We'll check it out here. Again, Hilo tried to go with a stunt on the, try to provide pressure, but look at that. Almost a big play.
Looks like one of the Hilo players was slow to get off the field, but they saved him with the timeout.
First time out of the half.
Yeah, that was.
You saw him running off, trying to get off the field, but the coach saved him by calling a timeout. The score with 6:43 left in the third quarter is 17-3 Iolani. We're going to take a break here. We'll be right back.
Well, I heard Marcus Mariota can throw football into the clouds.
Well, I heard Marcus Mariota doesn't just help old ladies cross the street. He carries them 2 at a time.
That's ridiculous. Well, I heard Marcus Mariota goes to First Hawaiian Bank. Look! Hi.
Oh, awesome. Who's got the pen?
You actually have it.
Yeah, we're back with third quarter action, and with 6 minutes and 43 seconds left in the third quarter, it's 17-3 Raiders as they face a 4th and 9. To punt for them is Wailoa Emanuel, the receiver, kicker, and punter. Does a lot for this team. Back to return for the Vikings is Ogata and Apau, their usual returners. Hilo looking for a spark here. Maybe they can get on special teams. It's a punt that's taken by Apau. He's going to make a move to go out to the outside. He's going to be tackled shy of the 35-yard line. I'll call it the 34. And that's where Miyasato will start this drive.
Yeah, and Miyasato, 10 for 18, 122 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions here. So now it's time to kind of take it up another notch here. You saw Hilo trying to take some downfield shots in the first half. I think they're going to need to continue to do that. They definitely do have the receivers to exploit those weaknesses in the secondary for Iolani.
Yeah, I mean, the receivers have speed, they have experience, they got hands. So this time they're going to hand it off to Lyle Silva, who's going to take it to the right. He refuses to go down, and he picks up a gain of about 7 yards. Great balance there as you saw him keep himself up for a nice gain.
Yeah, low center of gravity, and he has been doing it all year on both sides of the football. Not only is the leading rusher, but he is one of the better edge defenders for Hilo.
Yeah, Silva racking up some rushing yards, and he's been one of the stars of this Viking offense. As they're going to give it to him once more, he's going to rush to the left, and the spot looks like he may have the first down is where the ref is standing. Yep.
Yeah, and Kupad, they're coming in 52 points a game. These gaudy numbers, video game style numbers. But I like what Hilo's doing right now. Let's go back to basics. Let's play power ball here. Challenge that very light Iolani front seven. Only 1 or 2 people above 200 pounds.
Yeah, there's no doubt this is the biggest challenge they faced this year as far as a team, both offensively and defensively. As the toss to Silva doesn't go for much, I think he got back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, great job there on the outside by Michael Shikata again. Not only is he a decent corner in coverage, but he can make tackles out on the perimeter. And you see more white shirts than gold shirts on that play. Iolani doing a good job on defense.
Yeah, very well coached, very well